So Jerry, tell me about, like,
Say please, Joe.
all right, please, Jerry. This guy. Tell me about like the first time home buying process, like right now with lending. I know there's all this craziness on TV, and I feel like, we've got to always combat the media that are, they're saying all these things that just aren't true, right? So what does it look like for a first time home buyer right now?
I mean, frankly, I hate to say it like this. It's going to sound salesy, but it's probably the easiest time from a documentation standpoint, from a technology standpoint. Our industry has had the technology for years, and finally we're embracing it. In the last 2 or 3 years, it's gotten easier and easier, where it's very click, click, go, on your phone, on your computer. It's very simple. So first-time buyer programs are pretty cool, and both Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac, who kind of govern both sides of the industry, they each have their own unique programs that kind of mirror each other. In our area, like in the 5-county area, what they call the area median income, it's typically $105,000 in annual income.
Okay.
So what does that mean? It's one of those kind of backhanded compliments where if your income is $105,000 or below, it's positive. If it's over that, you miss the boat. Okay. So these are income incentivized programs. But years and years ago, the income was significantly lower. It was like $60,000. So now, I mean, it can be an individual who makes $100,000. It can be a husband and wife. They each make $50,000 and they're below that number. What does all that mean? So if you're below the area median income, so your income is below $105,000, Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac have done away with pricing adjustments. Pricing adjustments mean interest rate adjustments for percentage down, for credit score, and all the above. So
And that's huge.
it's massive.
Yeah, I mean, not really.
Just to kind of paint a picture. So I had a client yesterday with a mid 600 credit scores in the 640 range. They put 20% down, but in a letter grading system, like a 647, their credit score, that's like a D minus. Like it's not good. And their rate would reflect it accordingly.
Right.
So
It's
for example,
but it's not great.
this particular client's been looking for a number of months, and they started, probably like early summer, before Fannie Mae put this pricing incentive in play. Their rate that I was quoting in the summer was 7.5%. Wow. They just locked in yesterday. They went under contract. They locked in at 5.999. And in the first year, they're only paying based on 4.999 because of a happy housewarming present we give them as a buy down. So that said, it is a wonderful time to buy. At least explore your options and see what that means to you, because that difference between, call it 6 and 7.5% in interest rate, I mean, that's a Penn State education when you look at that over 30 years.
Right.
And that's significant savings.
Is this for everyone, or
So it's a good question. It's for first-time buyers, and what's technically considered first-time buyer these days, you don't actually have to be buying your very first home. You cannot have owned a home in the most recent 3 years. So if you owned a home 10 years ago and you sold it, and you've been renting since, and you're buying now, you're technically a first-time buyer in the eyes of Fannie Mae. So it works out pretty good for everyone that way.
Yeah, that's huge. I mean, from 4.99 to what'd you say, 7.5, 7.25?
7.5, yeah. Yeah, it was a life change. It really is. And they ended up buying that much more house as a result because they were able to afford that much more. And it didn't affect them at all. So it's kind of a win all around.
Right.
So
so things are looking up, right?
Yeah, those are the types of things that it makes sense to buy. It's not what I call like an artificial stimulant. Like that's something that that family's putting 20% down. They deserve this,
right?
And they could get in with as little as 3% down, by the way, to do that.
And then none of the terms would change if they were only putting 3% down.
None of the terms change. The only difference is they would have monthly PMI. That's all.
Well, right,
but short of that,
no. The rates wouldn't change. I mean, that's where it hurts, right? So again, your credit score's a little low. Well, there's a ding. So now I got to charge you a little bit more money, right? I'm not putting as much down. There's a little more money, right? So, I mean, it does, none of that affects it.
It doesn't. And so when we look at things, like I always say, like, I'm not good at a lot, but I'm good at spending other people's money. We look and put ourselves in the client's shoes. Like, all right, if I made that money, I had this credit score, I had this money to put down, how would I look at it if it were for my family? And is it, a conventional with 3% down? Is it a conventional with 20% down? Is it an FHA loan? Kind of show them chocolate, vanilla, strawberry options,
Right.
and let them say, I like this, I don't understand this, tell me more about it.
Yeah, sure.
I don't like that one at all. And it just kind of gets them to the right answer at the end.
That's awesome. And listen, I've been doing this for 20 years as a real estate broker.
That's it.
That's it. That's because I'm so young, Jerry. That's what it is. But so that being said, like the rules change all the time. Like that's why he's the lender, and I always say, look, if you really want to get down to what you qualify for, talk to Jerry. Speak to a lender, right? They can go through your unique situation and help you understand what's going on and what they can offer you. Like I kind of have an idea of how it works, right? I mean, FHA, conventional, all these things, but every program changes. Oh, did you hear about this program? I feel like every quarter somebody comes to me, oh, did you hear about this program? Did you hear about that program?
It's like tax laws. It changes every day.
Well, and then it's funny, it's like, hey, what about that program? Oh, we don't have that anymore.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, here we go. I just finally understood how it worked, and now you don't have it anymore. So definitely talk to a lender. Like I said, it is a good time to be out there. So we look forward to working with you. I don't know. What do we say now? We messed it up.